Morning, everyone. November 27th, day before Thanksgiving. We are close. Coming up on Wednesday, AJ. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
We're in
happy
full
Thanksgiving,
blown
man.
holiday season. Yeah, can't wait. So,
Me
yeah, with that
neither.
being said, gonna do a bit of an episode tonight. Gonna skip over our preview for NFL for the weekend. Gonna do a recap Sunday night. Gonna skip Thursday night's live. Gonna post an AI photo tonight. I should have done it earlier, but gonna get that up tonight for sure because it'll be an interesting one. But yeah, otherwise we're gonna go through, kind of do some college football, do some NBA stuff, touch on some other sports like we usually do on Tuesday night. But yeah, just an FYI that of course, yeah, we won't be up for Thursday night live. So yeah, you wanna dive
Fair
right
enough.
in.
Yeah, so we'll kick it off with some NCAA football. Who doesn't love college football 12-team bracket?
I
Everybody loves a bracket.
That's actually so funny you say that because I almost commented that earlier on Pat McAfee's update where he said, "Look, what do how we feel?" And I almost commented and was like, "Anybody who disagreed with this, come forward now. Whoever was the one that said that this was a bad idea, come
Yeah,
explain yourself." Because like, just the comments were going nuts of who deserves to be in and who shouldn't be. Like,
yeah,
it adds so much more fun to it, and more teams are involved now. It's not just Alabama and Ohio State every single year, and then
right.
Clemson and
In
Michigan.
Georgia.
Like, yeah, in Georgia, yeah,
Yeah,
like we actually get some parity in it now. Like there's SMU is on the board.
right.
Like
You
it's yeah,
give
it's
you give those teams
Arizona
that go
State
undefeated, you give them their
and the
shot.
chance.
Here's your
Yeah,
shot.
yeah. And
Prove
I
us wrong.
still think it's dumb that the schedules are picked, but still, regardless, like I
Yeah,
said, they're working on it. Things are getting better, so we'll see where it goes. But
yeah,
I mean, yeah, for me though, I saw today. I clicked on college football when I was looking at work earlier, and it said rankings came out. So did the college football playoff, and I was like, who the fuck cares about the rankings at this point? Like, I get it. I know there's bowl games and there's money involved and so on, but like that's like imagine like an NFL team like being like, yeah, we were 13th in the NFL. Like it's like, dog, you missed the playoffs, and they're like, yeah, but I mean, like we did good. It's like you lost out on a draft pick. Like there is
yeah.
no benefit to being mediocre, whereas like college football really rewards it. So odd to see, but yeah. So anyway, but yeah, the playoff picture. That's what everyone is talking about.
Right.
So that's the exciting part. That's what took the attention away today when they delayed the release of it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's exciting.
I
So
love it.
just run through the matchups real quick. The first round would be 12 Arizona State versus 5 Ohio State, 9 Tennessee at 8 number 8 Georgia, number 11 Indiana at number 6 Penn State, and number 10 SMU at number 7 Notre Dame. The only thing I wish they would change is let's see Indiana go against Georgia and Tennessee go against Penn State. Like let's see some matchups that you don't typically see.
Yeah,
I don't want to see another Big Ten game and another SEC game.
SEC game. Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
mix
that's
it
true.
up. But that's my only complaint about this. And I get not wanting to switch a 9 and 11. I mean, when you look at it, Tennessee has 2 losses and Indiana has one. So I don't see what the big deal
Yeah.
is. And Indiana's losses to the second team in the nation, who's
Yeah, that's true.
their only losses to the number 1 team in the
I think
nation.
my only counter argument to that would be that it does make more sense to keep it interconference, even though we don't want to see it. It eliminates that chance of an argument of, yeah, but they got caked walked through. They played two Big Ten teams and then did this or whatever the conference may be. No disrespect to the Big Ten or whoever's wherever, but like that would be the end. Whereas this is like you're crowning the true SEC champion, and then they get to be like, no, we beat
Yeah.
another SEC team. Like that would be like the only counter argument to it. But no, I see your point. If they're gonna have a 12 team playoff, like they should absolutely like the committee should absolutely add in a little bit of, yeah, but this game would be cool to watch. Like
Right.
that, absolutely, you're absolutely right, 100%. Like that's something that probably doesn't get talked about enough. Like there absolutely should be. Like it's unfortunate to say, but like Alabama missing out on it today. Like it'd probably be cool to see Alabama and there's like a mediocre team, but like
Yeah.
there's other teams that like are going to be on the brink there, like or like a Colorado. Like fucking throw Dion in there anyway. Who cares? Just put him in because it's fun to watch. Like they might get hot and
Eh,
win. Like did they
I don't
maybe
know
not
about that.
deserve it? Sure, but like but yeah, regardless. So that's yeah, I like your point there of like taking in some account for well, what's the most entertaining matchup or what can we tweak a little
Right.
bit that doesn't get carried away to
So
enhance
here's
the games.
here's the other thing, and I think this is what I find frustrating about the way it all shakes out right now, is that a lot of these teams in here are going to play each other for their conference championships.
I guess that is true too. So like they
So
already have done that. So
right,
like
so like,
there's no reason to do it again.
well, I don't mind playing for the conference championships, but that guarantees that like, okay, there's 12 teams on here, uh, four maybe five of them are going to have an additional loss.
Yeah, that's true
in their
too.
conference
Yeah.
championship game.
Yeah,
So
that's the other
like,
thing too is that anybody arguing about the actual team resumes right now, like getting disheartening about it, like there's still a whole nother week. Like your team could
right,
get
you
dog
have
walked next week, 50-0 by an unranked team, and then you're out.
right,
Like relax.
right. Like, look, I know I'm a homer saying this, but like Michigan, Ohio State, there's a real chance Ohio State loses that game.
Oh,
I
real
I don't I
chance.
don't think they will,
I
but
don't.
there
Yeah,
is a
especially
real
at home,
chance.
dude. At
Right,
home, that would be so crazy if
right.
Michigan goes
It's
in there and fucking wins.
right. Like you've heard of wilder stuff happen in college football, and
Yeah,
so
that
like
would be
when you
nuts.
when you have these matchups, and then okay, so Ohio State does meet Michigan the next week. They're gonna play, or I guess 2 weeks because they get the bye week. Oregon plays Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. So now one of them has another loss.
Yeah, that's true.
So
And if
now
Ohio State
Ohio
has
State
two
goes
more
from a five
losses at
seed
that point,
to a 12 seed. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Is the last team in.
playing in Arizona State or some other crazy ass small school stadium would
Right,
be
yeah.
wild.
And like
Ohio State showing up in a private jet to SMU where they don't even have like concession stands or something, which is that
Yeah.
in my head is like the most hysterical shit ever.
yeah. And
Like they get
like
off the bus, like you guys got a Walmart around here? They're like, no, we ain't got one of them. Like that cracks me up. Imagining them going to like a
yeah.
much smaller non-football school and being like, what the fuck, and then losing like that
Right.
adds in the extra element of like they get three losses in a row. They lose to Michigan, lose to Oregon, and then lose in the playoff.
Yeah.
You know, obviously
So
that'd be a hell of a fizzle if they lose the next three games, Michigan, Oregon, and then in the playoffs. Yeah, that would be
I
nuts.
don't if you lose both those games, you don't get into the playoffs. There's not a chance.
Yeah, wait, do they have a loss?
They lost to Oregon already, so that'd be three
Oh
losses.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
two to Oregon and one to Michigan. Three losses, you don't get
Yeah,
in.
yeah, that's
So
true too. Yeah. So yeah, they wouldn't even get in.
yeah, it's
Oh man, yeah, that's
yeah, I
interesting to see though,
just
because Oregon's strong. So if Michigan does win, they have a chance of fucking up Ohio State's season. Like they have a
oh
chance
yeah,
because like Oregon could definitely capitalize and win it and be done,
yeah,
and then Ohio State's going home before the playoff even
right,
starts. Have to be the number two seed all year long.
right.
Could never get the
Uh,
one.
yeah. So it's like it's really cool to see and like think about all these crazy matchups, but also in the back of your mind, you got to be like, okay, yeah, but this is all gonna change in 2-3
Literally,
weeks
yeah.
after the
Yep. That's
conference
that's like I'm not getting
championships.
too hype
So
on the matchups. I'm getting more excited about like the possibilities and the structure of it. Like I'm all
right,
for it. I'm ready for it. So
yeah,
yeah, I
and
mean, good.
and you're looking at 12 teams that have less than 3 losses.
Yeah,
So two or less losses, and there's a realistic chance. As much as I hate to see a three in the loss column making the playoffs, I think it's realistic
it's
that it
definitely
happens.
possible.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Like
like
there could be a few. Like I said,
Alabama,
it's
Beats whoever the hell they play this week, and there's a real chance that they don't play in the conference championship and still make the playoffs as a number 12
yeah,
because the
which
other
is
teams just beat up on each other in the
yeah,
in
and then
the
it just
conference
it's
championship.
just the way the
So
numbers fall, and
yeah,
then they sneak in, and then they obviously end up having a good resume at that point.
right.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, we have 12 matchups there. One, Oregon is home versus Washington, who's unranked. Two, Texas is at 20,
Uh,
Texas A&M.
There's a flaw in what we mentioned already.
Oh,
If Ohio State loses to Michigan and Penn State wins, Penn State
oh
goes
yeah,
to the
Penn
Big Ten
State would be the
championship
Big Ten championship. So then Ohio
against
State wouldn't
Oregon.
have that extra loss, and they
Yeah,
would still be in anyway. So that's a
right.
good point too.
Yeah,
But if Penn State also loses,
right. But they are playing Maryland at
Maryland,
home.
so
So
it's
no
gonna
offense
be
to the Terps,
no, yeah, but
but
that's not much of a game for them.
yeah, this
Yeah,
isn't your
it's
scene.
yeah, not quite. But yeah,
So
Texas is on the road at 20. Texas A&M. Miami is at Syracuse. Boise State is home versus Oregon State on Friday night. Ohio State versus Michigan at noon on Saturday. Penn State versus Maryland, like you said, that's 3:30. I think it was. Notre Dame
yeah,
is
it's
on the
pretty
road in
funny.
California, USC. 8 Georgia home versus Georgia Tech, also Friday night game. So that'll be an interesting one. Georgia shouldn't just murder Georgia Tech. Um, Tennessee is at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's done crazier shit this year, so could they play
Right.
spoiler to Tennessee?
Yeah.
SMU home versus Cal should be a cleanup, and then Indiana versus Purdue is also a wild one because Purdue's a football city, sorta. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they could sneak in there, and Indiana
They have
lost
like
last
one
week,
win
so
this year.
yeah, no, they're
I
not
don't
yet.
think they're too worried.
Not at all going to. But
They
yes,
shouldn't be anyways.
Indiana gets their extra win because they are a good football team. They just happened to lose to Ohio State, so yeah, they should hopefully remain in the playoff.
Yeah.
And then Arizona State at Arizona.
Right. Another
So
game
yes,
where you're like, yep, they could lose that.
yeah, definitely could lose that. But yeah, also if they win it, then it's like that's crazy to see Arizona State in the playoffs. Like
Yeah.
imagine them in like a final, like a quarterfinals
Right.
matchup or a semifinals matchup.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
so
I'm
wild.
here for it. Like, sign me up. I just
Oh
want
yeah,
to see
for
the
sure.
games played.
Yep. Last thing I have for college football, Heisman race. Travis Hunter's a freak, but also Ashton Genty is the only player other than Barry Sanders and Ricky Williams to have 2,000 yards and 25 touchdowns in just 11 games, which is kind of crazy. Like
Yeah,
200 yards ish and 2.5 ish touchdowns a game is
right.
ridiculous for an 11 game span. Like that's
Yeah,
nuts. Like that's crazy. So, but again, it's college. They're playing
for
shittier
sure.
teams, and but still,
I
that's still crazy to do. That's a lot of running.
It's going to be real interesting to see how the Heisman plays out this year because neither of them has the quarterback favoritism.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So, and
Uh,
there is no quarterback that really deserves it to be
yeah,
like, oh, that's a
no.
clear cut.
Okay, look, there's
This is the
nobody that
one.
deserves it other than one of those two.
Facts.
I
Facts. There were a few
I'm
other for a
sorry.
little bit, and then
Yeah.
the race just got ended.
Yes.
There is no one even
Yeah.
in the building
Yeah.
now.
So
So
assuming they both stay healthy, it's going to be a real tough decision. I think if you asked me to pick one today, I go with Ashton. I
really,
Yeah, I have respect for what Hunter's doing, uh, but I just can't.
I see. I feel like almost this week because Colorado's probably out and they're playing like Oklahoma State or some shit. I feel
Right.
like they just feed Hunter the ball to pad that last week of stats, like just to make it like even crazier. Because Genty's whole thing
Right.
is that like he specifically runs the ball, and then Hunter's is like even if he's like an okay receiver, he's a good cornerback, or even if he's an okay cornerback, he's a great receiver. Like the argument, like that is like the double down argument where it's like we don't see that often.
That
It does not happen frequently where
right.
they're a good,
This is
impactful player.
this is where your team record comes into play.
Yeah, that's
And
yeah.
sorry, Travis, but
See, I feel like Colorado played more real teams though, but also Boise State's in the playoff with their wins. But if Ohio
right.
State or if Colorado had the same record, they would too. Yeah, it's yeah, it's super odd. That's
Yeah.
yeah. I just yeah,
I'm real interested. This
I'm
is one of
excited to
those
see how it
years where you're
falls.
like, oh, how does the committee vote on this? Because
Yeah,
oftentimes you have a decent like quarterback that has a shot, and he gets it because he's the quarterback.
yeah.
Um, but I mean, look,
Also, usually it's two, three, four quarterbacks, and we're just sitting
right,
waiting to find out who got it. Like it's
right,
this one and that one and that one and that receiver who you know damn well isn't gonna get it,
yeah,
and we're just waiting to find out. So yeah, like I said, yeah, I'm just like this is like one of the first years in a while that I've been excited to figure it out because it's just like, oh, who's it gonna be?
yeah.
But where did I click off to? Why did I do that? Why did I do that? There we go. But yeah, that was all I had though for Heisman for college football. I'm excited. Can't wait for this week. Friday night,
Was
Saturday night. We'll get some
was
answers by Sunday
Devontae the
morning.
last one non-quarterback to win?
I couldn't even tell you. This is
Jaden
my
Daniels,
first years of college
Caleb,
football.
Bryce Young, yeah, Devontae Smith in 2020 was.
Nice
He's the first quarterback, or he's the first non-quarterback since
quarterback,
Derrick Henry won in 2015.
which is also not surprising.
Yeah.
Freak show shit.
And then Mark
Um,
Ingram in 2009. Yeah. So it's like every 4 years, basically, a non-quarterback wins it. So that puts him this year non-quarterback. Here we are. I'm not saying there's a trend, but take your bets.
did Champ Bailey win a Heisman?
I have no idea. I just had the
Not
list
it.
pulled up, but I just closed it.
Never mind then. I don't think so. He was a two-way player. I just remember him talking about that the other day, so I couldn't remember. I don't know if he won one or not.
I can
Anyway,
find out for you.
no worries. I mean, yeah, I can find out too. I just was
No.
I figured he would be there. It was 99, so yeah. Who won at 99? Or did you look up Champ Bailey specifically?
I just looked up Champ Bailey
Okay,
specifically.
never mind. I don't care. I just was curious. I thought you already had it pulled up, so I was like, all right, well, who won instead? All right, damn it. Now I'm gonna look it up. 1999.
Ron Dane.
Hey, look at that. That was not a trick question. That was not a bit. I did not have that planned.
Sure.
I said, all right, I'm going to talk about Heisman and then Travis Hunter. I'm going to plug Champ Bailey, pull up 99 Heisman. Ron Dane, partial to my name. A guy my mom went to high school with, and a football player that my dad liked. Anyway, so speaking of football, nice plug there from Heisman to NFL. Ron Dane, former Giant running back, Dayne. Thanksgiving, or first of all, NSYNC, bye. Teams of the week, none. We have no teams on bye this week, which is sick. The NFL with the extra week now takes that week in the middle to give us all the games, which is cool. So we get a couple weeks off of byes. However, some of the matchups this week aren't
What was
fantastic.
that noise?
That was the dog dreaming, I believe.
Oh.
That was I did.
Yeah, I heard that
know
loud
you
and
could hear
clear.
that too. You made that look at me too, and I was like, they definitely have a break in buys this week. And then I was like, oh no, you're looking at that. Yeah, he's dead to sleep. So he's got some bad biddies on a boat somewhere.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him, man. Good for you, bud. Having a great dream. He's just like, damn, it's just living life, living life. All
Anyways,
right, but anyway, so yeah, so no teams on bye this week. Might as well be though, because some of the matchups are not that great. But yeah, again, we'll talk about all the Sunday stuff Sunday night. So for right now, I'm just gonna talk about Thanksgiving, which is normal. We love that. Black Friday.
why are we playing
super
football
goofy.
on Friday?
Why are we playing football on Black Friday?
Stop
Also,
it.
the NFL playing football on Christmas Day. Don't know that I love that. Like, leave NBA on Christmas Day alone. Like
Yeah.
that's I don't like that. That stepping on each other's toes now. I don't like that.
I'm-
Especially because I think
I'm
NFL
fine
is
with
on
it.
Netflix or some shit like that. So
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna watch it on my phone regardless. I'm gonna watch basketball on TV or something. So yeah, it's just one of those kind of goofy things.
I'm
but-
perfectly fine with them playing on Christmas Day when it falls on a Saturday or Sunday on the weekend when they would normally play.
Yes, yeah. If it's a Sunday, fine.
don't-
You don't have to
I
cancel
don't need it
football.
on a
That's
Wednesday.
crazy. Yeah, no. If it's on a Wednesday, don't give me NFL football. Like it just
Yeah.
feels weird. It feels out of place. Like
Yeah.
I don't like if you told me if a football game was on a Tuesday or Wednesday, like fuck that. Like that's just
Right.
odd. Like
The
especially because the players,
have
I
to
believe
hate
that.
it too. Like,
Yeah, and I believe that that's like their off day too. Like that's their religious like off day is
Yeah.
Tuesday or whatever. Like
Yeah.
I think it's like that's like the league day or whatever. However the
Right.
hell it works. But
yeah.
but yeah. So yeah, regardless, yeah, Friday's goofy. But yeah, so Thanksgiving Day we have Chicago at Detroit. Does Chicago surprise us and put up a fight against Detroit like they did Minnesota, or does Chicago get blown out and Detroit sets a record for points on Thanksgiving Day?
I think the latter is likely.
Yeah.
It's more likely, I should say.
I could see them just having fun. It's Turkey Day; they get to eat those turkey legs at the end of the game. Like I could see the Lions scoring 70 or 80 points. Like,
Especially because the Lions didn't particularly perform well this past weekend.
no, yeah, 24-6 against the Colts after two 50 buckets. Like yeah,
Right,
they're gonna
yeah.
be like, "What are we doing? What are we doing wrong, guys?"
Yeah. So they're gonna come out and just dominate. So
Yeah, that's
at
what
least
I-
that's what I expect.
I'm
I just-
expecting that. I'm not surprised if Chicago puts up a fight, but I just don't know that they can do it for the whole game. Like it might be an early game, 7-7, 10-7, 13-7, and then I think Detroit just.
I think it'll be very similar to how the Rams Eagles game played out Sunday night. In that
Yeah.
it's close for a half a quarter to
little
a
bit.
quarter.
and then it runs away.
Yeah, and then they
That,
start running the ball, and they get tired, and then they start throwing the ball, and suddenly the Lions
The
have
defense kicks
45
in.
points.
And yeah, you get two
Yeah.
pick sixes or a kick blocked or whatever, just something crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this might end up having to be a bit of ours so that no one ever. It also kind of helps too because then anybody will ever comment and be like, "You stole that from PMT." I'm just gonna call it my PMT plug of the day. I didn't even have one planned, but you just said that about the Lions. We talked about the second half and after the first quarter. Big Cat talked about that the other day. He said, "Do you know what the score is for the Detroit Lions against the AFC South in the second quarter or second half of their games?" So all four games combined, guess the score against the Texans, the Colts, the Jaguars, and the Titans.
Titans. Well, they didn't score any against the Colts. The Colts didn't score any. It's got to be under 10 points against.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many for.
70-0.
Wow.
None of those four teams have scored a point in the second half against the Lions, and the Lions have scored 70-0. And like Big Cat said,
Yeah.
that's two full games of football. That's 235 because you're playing
Yeah.
that's 8 quarters. That's
Right.
two full games, and they won 35-0 both games against four fucking teams. Like four teams pitched in, and not a single one of them put up a point.
Yeah.
Like that's insane. So yeah, like the Lions, like they might struggle in the first half, and like they did against the Colts, but like they might have just taken a little week off and just were like, we're up 20, just like let's just chill, and then they did. So, but yeah, so I could see them crushing the Bears because yeah, the Lions are just murking people right now. So
Yeah.
good for them. Good for Detroit fans. Shout out Jesse Kaiser. Happy for you, buddy. Yeah, that's good. Good for you, man. You're like one of the only Lions fans I know, and I know you're loving it. So you drove out to Detroit for a game a couple weeks ago. So
Okay.
Um,
I don't know that I know any Detroit fans, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I
it.
do. Do you remember Jeff and Jordan Holtz? Or Jordan and Justin Holtz?
yes, yeah.
They're
We know Jesse
Lions
Kaiser
fans.
too from high school.
Yeah, sure. I know him, but like I haven't talked to him since
Oh,
before
okay.
we
Okay.
graduated.
I mean, have you talked to Justin or Jordan since before we
I
graduated?
have. Yeah.
Okay,
Actually, I've talked
yes.
to both of them recently. Yeah.
Interesting. I think
Yeah.
I saw one of them, and one of them, the older one, Jordan, I think still works at Best Buy, and I see him occasionally when I'm in there yelling at people and
He's a
getting
DJ.
managers
Pretty good
fired
DJ
and shit.
too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Um,
So yeah,
yeah. Shout out our Lions fans.
I know their dad is definitely a Lions fan. I think Jordan's actually an Eagles fan, but I'm
I was
pretty
thinking
sure
of that. I
Justin
feel like
is
Justin is a Lions
as
fan.
well.
One of them I also know is a Michigan fan with you too. I think they both are. Like
Yeah,
that's
they both
right.
are.
That
That's what
rings
their
in my
dad-
head.
yeah.
I feel like I can see them both rooting
Yeah,
for them.
I'm pretty
but-
sure they have family up there. Not to
Yeah,
get too
that makes
personal,
sense.
a little
Yeah, yeah,
late,
yeah.
but
Sorry, put all their info out there. Yeah,
yeah,
they're from Detroit. Their address is.
yeah.
Um, he
Look
works at
them up.
Best Buy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look them up.
yeah. But anyway, so yeah, moving on. So yeah, that may be a good game, maybe a shithole. Another
Yeah.
game, definitely gonna be a shithole. Drew Lock slash Tommy DeVito slash my phone's ringing. Brian Daboll's calling. He wants me to start this weekend. Yeah, Giants,
The soft
Cowboys.
tank.
It's so weird, but yeah, they should be allowed to flex games out of Thanksgiving. And I'm tired of Detroit and Dallas. Break that
Yeah.
tradition. Who cares? I'm tired of that. I don't care.
It means nothing to me.
I would rather have the three absolute best games of the week. Like, give me Chiefs, Ravens, give me Lions. Fuck, no one in the NFC is any good. Eagles, give me like Lions, Eagles. Like, give me like really good games. That way, like all day long, all the family, everyone is just locked in. Like,
Yeah.
you go eat real quick and you're just right back. Like, everyone's watching football. Like, this is where people are like, this is dumb. What's the point of even watching football?
Well, at some point you have to have a shitty game like this so you have time to eat, right?
Nap, this is the
So-
eat and doze off on the
Yeah.
couch a little bit for a little bit, drive home and watch Miami Green
Yeah,
Bay.
yeah.
I
You're
guess.
gonna eat, watch the end of the Chicago Detroit game around like 3:30, and
Yeah.
then you can take a nap.
Eat
Wake
again,
up
take a
at
little nap.
7-8 p.m. and watch the Miami Green Bay game.
Yeah, and yeah, Miami winning this week I think made this a lot better of a game. But yeah, I mean, I really don't
100%.
have much for Giants Cowboys. I just don't care. Both teams
Yeah.
are dog shit. Micah
They
said
got
that they're
away.
better than they are, and I'll respect that because I want him to come on here someday. But other than that, like, yeah, they're not it right now. So.
Yeah, I think Dallas wins. I think they're
Yeah.
the better team, and also
Yeah. They do
probably
have
want
like
this
a
more,
legitimate P team.
where
Where
like the Giants secretly just
don't
want
want
to lose
this.
every other
They
game.
don't want this.
from
They
here
don't
on
want
out.
this. Yeah,
They
don't want
really
this.
currently have the number one draft pick, so they would like to keep that.
What also is weird too
So,
is that the more they lose, the better Daniel Jones looks. I was just saying about that earlier. Like it's a
Right.
weird like sliding scale. But the worse they finish, like the more it's like, well, it wasn't all his fault, obviously. But like if they
Right.
all of a sudden turn their season around and make the playoffs, like wild card, then it's like, well, he's fucking dog shit. Look at Tommy DeVito doing his thing. Like, so yeah,
Yeah.
I think every game the Giants lose, which they are intentionally doing at this point, is going to make Daniel Jones look even better. Which I saw. He said he wanted to go to a contender, which is just ballsy. But I mean, I guess. But like the Ravens and the Vikings were the two that both said that they would consider him as a backup and shit. And it was just
I
like,
would
what
take him
the
over
fuck?
Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, I mean, I'd take him over fucking Bo Nix probably. But okay, maybe not. But
I don't get it. I don't understand you, man.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know my
get
hate
it.
for Bo Nix. I don't want to hate him, and I don't hate him. I just don't understand the hype of it. I just feel like everyone's clowning me. I feel like this is like a punk thing where everyone's like waiting for me to get excited, and then be like, "Look at this fucking guy excited for Bo Nix. What a fucking chump!" Like that's what it feels like.
He's gonna
I
make
just,
the
I
playoffs,
I just feel like it's
and
almost
you're
like
still not
too-
gonna believe in them.
okay, maybe this is what it is. I think I actually just had a realization that like I have this slight, obviously overused word PTSD of
Yeah.
drafting shit quarterbacks. Like the Paxton Lynch and the Brock Osweiler and the Trevor Simeon and like that 11, the one of Kendall Hinton and the Chad Kelly's. Like I'm so used to doing this that it's like if we don't fucking sign Aaron Rodgers or like when we had the opportunity prior to the Achilles, like if we don't sign a legitimate second half of their year veteran quarterback, we just don't draft and develop quarterbacks. We just don't do it. And so that's why like now I'm just
Well,
like,
Sean Payton's a new coach. Here he
yeah,
is.
but it's why couldn't he work with
Developing.
Russ though? Like it's like that makes me nervous. Like I don't know. I'm all for it if it works. Listen, if we win a Super Bowl, I'm happy to be wrong. Like I'm happy to be wrong. I am glad to be like, damn, look at that, it's crazy. Like the ring. Like I'm all for that scenario, but it's gonna take a little bit more for me to really believe.
I maintain Russ got better as the year went on last year. Not a lot, but it was definitely
Because he needed
uphill.
another contract from another team. He was
Look,
whatever.
call it
I
what
keep
you
saying
want.
dog shit, but whatever's
He got
below
better.
dog shit is what he was the previous year, and it just made it so.
that was your coach's fault.
Yeah, it all is. Everything is. We're just. I mean, yeah, again,
shall not be
I hope I'm
named.
wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope, yeah, he who should not be in Madden because he doesn't sign the copyright shit. Did you know that Belichick
Did
and
not.
Belichick, since we were kids, Belichick and Sean Payton have never been in Madden. They use this generic ass just white guy with sunglasses and a ball cap because they don't sign. They're both not. They're like independents and they're not part of whatever the fuck it is, and they
Yeah.
don't sign the rights to it. So they're never in there. It always says when you're scrolling through picking your head coach, it'll say like PHI Nick Sirianni, and then it'll say NE-NE coach. If you remember, it's something weird, but it's as kids, like I never knew the reason why, and then as
I
an
would have
adult,
never looked at either of those teams. So
it's just even in like that thing where like it's warming up and it's doing the sideline scan of both teams, you'd see, you'd be like, oh, that's Nick Sirianni, and then it scans the other one, you're like, that's not Bill Belichick, and it's just this fucking shaved white guy with a polo on, and like you look like he's going golfing, and you're like, that's not it. They did the same for the Saints, where it's just black or like white khakis, a black polo, and a hat, and it's like that's Sean Payton. It's like, no, the fuck, it's not. Yes, it's super odd, but anyway. Yeah, so yeah, I hope we're better than I anticipate, um,
anyways,
but yeah,
back
anyway,
to our
speaking,
last game of Thursday night.
yes, Miami, Green
Miami
Bay.
travels up north to Green Bay. Tua ready to break the narrative, I believe was his words. Beat the narrative. I
Probably
forget
not.
exactly what he said. Something
Probably
about
not.
the narrative and culture.
Probably not. They can't play in the cold. Probably not. Probably not. I just don't understand. Yeah, he said, you know that thing we haven't done, we're gonna fucking do it. And it was like, I appreciate the confidence, but probably not.
You never know. It's it'll make for a good story. It's at least gonna make me watch. So
Yeah, yeah. Again, the Dolphins winning last week, I think, gives me much more anticipation to want to watch this game. I mean, in
yeah, for sure.
Green Bay, weirdly, I keep forgetting that they're like a good team in the NFC too. Like it's weird that
Yeah,
they only have
because
a
all
couple
they got
losses.
is a wild card behind
Yeah, the
Vikings
Lions, like
and the
yeah, the
Lions.
Lions,
So
like yeah, it's like yeah, they're like little brother again, little brother's little brother, but they're
yeah,
really good. So, but yeah, talking about the Broncos though. Speaking of their division, on Friday,
yeah,
Black Friday game, which is so goofy. We have the Raiders at the Chiefs. Raiders are gonna get murdered probably. Don't think I have too much else for that game. Like I think Chiefs are just on a roll now. They're getting better. Keep forgetting they have DeAndre Hopkins and Travis Kelsey on offense, and it's not like
yeah.
D Hop is like way past his prime. Like they have end of prime D Hop, not past prime D Hop, which
Right.
is like
Yeah,
kind of crazy to think about. Like
yeah.
yeah, he leaves.
No, I agree. I think it's gonna be like any Kansas City game. Uh, it'll probably be close for no reason, but Kansas City
No
will
reason at
win.
all.
It'll be
Yep.
close. Like it'll feel close, but it's never
But nah,
really
yeah,
close.
yeah. You could tell that it's that thing where the Raiders spend 12 minutes getting downfield and barely getting a touchdown, and then Patrick Mahomes throws one touchdown, and then the Raiders have the ball back
Yeah.
and got to fight for it again, and then it's just yeah, it's
Right.
what seemingly continues to happen where teams wear themselves. It's how I feel playing Madden. It's every time I'm playing Madden, it gets sweats online. When I do like a full drive and I get a touchdown and I'm just like sweating and I'm like, thank fucking God. And then their first player too, they score, and then I go back and I throw a pick my first. I'm like, this is over. This is it. I'm like, that
Yeah.
was my one good drive. I'm about to get walked the whole rest of this game. Like they figured out how I play. I'm done. Like there's nothing I can do now. And I feel like that's kind of what the Chiefs do. And yeah, so
Yeah.
the Raiders, I do not think are a team that's good enough to beat them at this point. So
On a completely unrelated note, have you ever heard of Terry's Chocolate?
no,
They their name's on the court at the Vegas showdown where Kansas plays Duke right now.
interesting.
Oh, apparently they own the show. The Terry's Chocolate Vegas Showdown is the whole name of the tournament. I've never
Yeah,
heard of Terry's Chocolate. Now, granted,
Terry's got bread.
we live in Hershey's backyard, so
Back,
there's
yeah,
probably
yeah,
a
so-
reason for that. But
Yeah, they Hershey pays hella advertising money
you were at
for
least out in
anti.
Arizona for a while, so
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
you
even
heard
then,
about it.
Hershey's still pretty prominent. Like it's
Oh, for
still
sure, they're a
everywhere.
nationwide
Yeah,
company,
yeah,
but
it's everywhere.
yeah, fascinating. Anyways,
But yeah,
great plug for moving into college basketball.
yes, love it.
This week is all the invitational tournaments, all these different, you know, brackets and group play, as you call it. So a lot of fun games going on tonight, as well as going into. I keep wanting to say weekend, but it's not the weekend. It's just the middle of the week.
Yeah, it's Tuesday night. I keep thinking
Yeah.
it's Thursday or Friday, and it's not.
Right,
It's,
yeah.
like, it's so weird.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm like,
everything's
oh, I
just
got a
so
day
off
off.
right
It's
now.
fine. Yeah. No, not quite. Not quite yet. But yeah, we got the invitational tournaments going on. Right now, I'm watching the Kansas Duke game with 1 point lead for Kansas, which is kind of fun.
Damn, Kansas is
10
number
minutes
one in
left.
the nation.
Yeah, Duke's put up a pretty
11
good fight.
p.m. North Carolina plays in 9 minutes.
Yeah, because they're at the Maui Invitational, so
Gee,
they're
all
out in
right, cool.
Hawaii.
At least I got a reason. I got something to watch here for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, as if
Damn,
you
yeah, I
needed
saw
a reason
you.
to stay up.
Right. I mean, actually, I should just go to bed. But it's fine. No, I guess I'll stay up.
Yeah. The only thing I really have of note, I guess there's two things. College basketball is wild. Just seeing like South Dakota State today beat Oregon. I don't know. There's just something about. as someone who went to a small school, there's something cool about seeing these smaller schools that, go play Oregon and win at this random invitational event. Um,
I might be looking at the wrong thing. Oregon lost to Texas, or Oregon beat Texas A&M today.
maybe I was looking at women's basketball.
Not to throw you off there, just didn't want us
Yeah,
confusing
I
what
was
we were
scrolling
talking
through
about.
ESPN, so it was probably
Yeah,
women's
yeah,
basketball.
probably women's. Yeah, yeah. Either way, though,
It
it's still
was, yeah,
it's
women's
crazy because
basketball.
it's college, so it still comes down to
Yeah,
like size of school and things like that. Like it's still
right.
a wild scenario because like who is? Would you say was South Dakota State?
South Dakota State.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like who are they to recruit women basketball players? To be like, guys, come on, South Dakota, look at it, it's awesome. Like,
right.
like come on.
Yeah,
Like the kind of girls you get to live in South Dakota are not typically the kind of girls that play basketball. I believe. Like that would be my very quick non-informational, complete idiot judgment that
yes,
it's gonna be hard to recruit pretty good basketball players there. So for them to get a dub at Oregon is pretty fucking wild. Like,
right.
yeah, so. Yeah, Oregon men's though they're 6-0 and they beat Texas A&M who's ranked at 20 today. So yeah, a lot. Yeah, college basketball is just wild. But yeah, like you said, yeah, just it's you never know what's gonna happen. I saw Joe Lunardi is doing his bracketology already, which is just crazy. I love to see it though. Like, give me an idea of what
Yeah,
we're looking at already. Like, I'll take it early. But yeah. I mean, other
yeah.
than that, anything else for college basketball?
I don't think so. Lots of good games. Check them out.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna watch the rest of that Duke Kansas game. We got 8 minutes left here, second half. 62-61 Kansas right now.
Yeah.
Iowa State's tied with Dayton. Iowa State's fifth in the nation. Dayton is tied 81 right now. They're out in Maui. And yeah, we got the North Carolina Auburn game right after, which is sweet. I feel like that. North Carolina, UNC, Auburn basketball history. When did we play them recently? That's a loss. Okay, cool. Yeah, March 29th, 2019 at Auburn, 97-80. March. That was late March. Yeah, that was in the tournament. We got smoked. Okay,
Are
cool.
they
Love
still
that.
doing the? Are they still doing the ACC versus ACC Big Ten matchups?
I could not tell you, honestly. Let's see. College, like I said, NBA and college basketball definitely wait till roughly Christmas before I really check in. Like
Yeah.
all this stuff I'm watching and I'm kind of paying attention, but I'm not nearly as invested. Like there's too much going on in the NFL, and then the NBA starts to take my attention again. College football playoffs, like it's just there's always so much going on. But
Yeah.
yeah,
See
speaking of
that.
NBA though, creeping up on the quarter point. We're almost at a quarter of the way through the season. We just talked about it a little bit ago. The NBA Cup is on Tuesdays and Fridays still. So tonight, Tuesday night, that we're recording this, is a NBA Cup night. Tonight, the Bucks win without Giannis. The Wolves and Rockets went to overtime, and I believe the Rockets won. Oh, I'm in the bag here. Yep, Rockets won. I knew, yeah, they were up, and I just wanted to make sure they actually finished it because I turned it off beforehand. So Rockets win, and then we have LeBron versus KD right now on TNT, which is sweet. It hasn't happened as many times as you would think it has happened over the last however many years that KD's been in the league. So it's always cool when that does happen. LaMelo Ball is unfair. I don't know if you've seen any of those highlights, but I encourage you to
I
check
have
that out.
not.
Just a quick
No.
Google of LaMelo Ball will bring you to it. When he was playing in high school, he just always had this like annoying nonchalantness
Dad.
about him. Yeah, that too. Oh yeah,
That's all I
100%.
remember
Yes,
about
yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, like you wanted to hate him, but I always stick to like they're the kids. Ignore the fucking idiot
Sure,
dad.
yeah,
Listen
yeah.
to the kids. So then Leangelo, the one idiot brother, is one where I'm like, okay, that guy's kind of a moron. Like he was on the Twitter beef with Cameron the rapper a couple weeks ago, and it was like, why are
Oh
you two
man.
even arguing? Who cares? And but anyway, Lonzo seems cool because he's just quiet. Lamelo seems cool because he's just like quiet
Is
and just like
Lamelo the
kind
one
of
that
chill.
played for the Lakers for a little bit?
Lonzo played for the Lakers and then the
Lonzo, that's it.
Pelicans, and then now plays for the Bulls. LaMelo
Okay.
is the youngest brother who plays for the Hornets right now.
So he's actually the good one of the three.
Yes, Lonzo would be really good, but he's dealt with some weird injuries and shit. People
Okay.
really tend to believe that's from the Big Baller Brand shoes. He was wearing those shoes, and there's real suspicion that they fucked up his knee and he like tweaked something, and it's just got worse and worse and worse. So yeah, so that's like a whole big thing too. That like his own dad's shoes might have fucked his career up. But anyway, so Lamelo right now is when he was playing in college or in high school, he would do this shit where like he just like dribbles up with like this like just like super casual just like walk and just will like point and like just like scream to the screen like just like the most like nonchalant like not like aggressive or like strategic or anything just is like and then people come to the screen and he'll just and it just goes in from like way beyond the three. And so it's just like there's like
Like a
meme
Steph Curry
videos.
distance?
Yes, like
Okay.
there are memes of it where like in high school people are like the TikToks would be like LaMelo Ball be like and pointing to like the free throw line on their own end of the court and just throwing it up and it just swishes and like does like this little jog back with like his arms up. Like that's kind of how it is. Like he's just so like nonchalant and free throwing.
Okay.
The other night he hit this like quick dribble move and like dusts this dude, does like a pull step back kind of thing and floats it off one foot and just like throws it in, just like real quick touch, just tosses it in like 3 or 4 feet from behind the line. And everyone was like, what the fuck was that? We all told this kid that things he was doing in high school wouldn't translate to the NBA, and now we're letting him do those things in the NBA. Who is going to stop that? Like, he's doing crazy shit. So I'm hyped to see it. It's exciting to see him play because with him with the ball in the hand, it's fun. Like I said, he's just like young and unfiltered too. So every time he gets on the mic, it's fuck something. Oh, sorry, my bad. Fuck, my bad. Sorry for fucking cussing. Fuck, shit, sorry, fuck. And then he said no homo the other day. It's like it's always something. So yeah, so he's fun to watch. But other than that, your Sixers are ass.
Oh, let's not talk about it.
Yeah, Jared McCain is doing all right. Embiid and George are out again. It's just a disaster there right now. So yeah, we won't
Yeah.
talk about it too much because it's just time will tell. They might get it together later in the season, but they're
They
going to be a
won't.
low seed if anything, and it's
They
just going to
won't.
be kind of a disaster. Bug fire on my screen.
They won't. Don't
Um,
get your hopes up, Philadelphia. Just don't.
just
It's
don't.
not worth it. It's
Just
never
don't.
worth it.
Focus on the Eagles. Just focus on the Eagles.
Yeah.
The Spurs are playing crazy old Tim Duncan, Mono Ginobili, Tony Parker fundamental basketball. They had like 27 passes in a fucking possession the other day. It was nuts to
Jesus.
watch. Like they just were just doing that shit where they just circle around and they hit like an open three after a while. Like it looks funny to watch and like it's almost like you'd be giggling out there because you're like, this is too many passes, but like somebody ends up open. Like it's just how they
Yeah.
play. So
Right.
it's weird to see them have new young players and still sticking to the same type of basketball that they've been playing for
It's
literally 30 years now.
Yeah, it reminds me of that model of football that everybody always talks about. I remember them. This was talked about a lot a couple of years ago with the Eagles. Why don't you just run the tush push the whole way down the field because you're averaging
Yeah.
like 3 yards a play?
Yeah, 3.3 yards a play. Just
Yeah,
push. Yeah, you're gonna get
yeah,
it. Like, yeah, just yeah, you need three and 4/10 of a yard, and you get a first down
yeah,
every time. Or you get
exactly.
a first down
Well,
every
their
time.
argument was you're averaging it was like 2.8 yards a play,
So
and
what are you doing on fourth
that's
down?
enough to
Yeah,
do it on fourth down and
fourth
get
down.
the
Yeah,
get
yeah,
it.
but you're gonna get the first, so why
Yeah,
not? Yeah,
they're like, so why don't you
yeah,
just do that? I'm pretty sure that was on the Kelsey's podcast, New
yeah.
Heights.
Just do it.
Travis was like, why don't you just do it the whole way down the
Do it
field?
every play.
Yeah.
Jason was like, I'm fucking tired, dog. I'm not pushing a pile of grown men fucking 36
Yeah,
times in the possession.
yeah.
Um,
That's what that reminds me of, though. It's just like
yeah,
go out
basic.
there and
Do the basics.
make it basic, and somehow you end up
Yeah, it
winning.
looks dumb. Like it literally looked like a Harlem Globetrotters thing. Like if you play it, like if you put that same clip with like a do 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 like a circus music, you'd be like, this is fucking corny as hell. What are they doing? But with actual NBA, you're like, damn, this is like the most strategic shit ever. How do you even guard that?
Right.
Because I forget who it was, but they were just the defense was scrambling. Like they were switching and sliding and falling, and like they just kept kicking and passing, and people were rotating. Like Wemby was up and down from the paint to the three like 2 or 3 times in one possession where he would catch and turn, and then it eventually just they kept crashing on him, and then he kicked it out, and dude was just wide open for a three. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean they've got a young pieces, and Papa's still out, but like they're a team to watch because like they're just fun to see. But Kristaps Porzingis returned to the Celtics after his injury. Jalen Brown is unguardable. Jason Tatum doesn't have to do much. We keep sitting players in the fourth quarter because we're just beating the shit out of people. So fun to watch. Second in the East still to the Cavs, who are 17-1, which is crazy. Last couple things for NBA. My team to watch in the top 10 would be the Rockets. They are a team that's young and they were not anticipated to be this good. They have Ime Udoka, who used to be the Celtics head coach, who then got caught banging a trainer, and we had to fire him, which thank God we then promoted Joe Mazzulla, and life has been fucking fantastic. I'm so happy he fucked that trainer, or whatever happened, or however it happened. But we fired
Allegedly.
him. Yeah, allegedly. He looks like Idris Elba. That's what he always gets shit for. He's like that dude. I don't know if you recognize that name or whatever, but
Yeah,
yeah, so he's the coach of the Rockets now. But yeah, they're a top 10 team. They got a bunch of young players. There was rumors that Giannis wanted to go there in a trade, and they were like, no, thanks, we're good. Like, we're going to stick to not paying someone $300 million. We got a young team. We can pay nothing. Team on the opposite of that spectrum is the Pacers. They're down to 20th. Tyrese Halliburton was supposed to be like an all-star, all-NBA player and just has been kind of dog water this year. And to the point where it's those things where it's like, whenever teams are saying things that, we're still strong as a team. They're not strong as a team. Like whenever they're saying certain things, like the Pacers, Pascal Siakam the other day came out and said, Tyrese is struggling, but we all just kind of let him know that we're there with him. And I just literally was thinking, if I'm a grown ass man, I'm just struggling my job, and everyone comes over and just pat me on the back, like, don't worry, man, we're here with you. Like you're just reaffirming that I suck right now. That like, hey man, you fucking suck. We'll hold you back, but you fucking suck right now. Like that is the literal translation to that. And so it was like, yeah, I'd be in my own fucking head too if the whole team was like, dog, you got to get your shit together. Because it's like, I know I'm trying, and now everyone talking about it's making it worse. Like, so yeah, I feel bad for Tyrese Halliburton. I feel like he's struggling. Pacers are struggling, but as a Celtics fan who struggled against the Pacers last year, all for it. Last two things: Cooper Flag watch Sixers if they finish.
I just had a nice dunk.
If they continue to watch him, and remember that, because if your Sixers don't get their shit together, the Thunder are going to get him, and that is fucking crazy. If the Thunder get Cooper Flag, I'm really disappointed because the Celtics like would have had a dynasty, and then the Thunder were just like, "Hey, watch this." So yeah, that's terrifying to see that Cooper Flag could end up there. I hope he goes to like a mediocre team though that makes another team better, like a Kings or something like that, like a team that's kind of like a middle of the road that then he elevates them. I don't want to see him go to the Celtics or the Thunder or the Warriors, God forbid. Like I do not want to see him on like a real team.
Fair enough.
Last thing I have is the Heat. I just want to give a quick shout out right now, November 26th, 11:02 p.m. If the Celtics don't win the finals and the Heat do, I just want to bring back to this moment. Every time I watch them play, they lost tonight against the Bucks, but still, every time I see them play, it's just the way they play. It's Coach Spo, it's Jimmy Butler, it's Bam.
Jimmy Butler's still down there?
Dude, yeah, Jimmy Butler with some fucking red dyed braids and shit. Like it just, yeah. Anytime Jimmy Buckets is on the court, like that team has a chance to do some crazy shit because he's yelling at people, and they're at the point now where he's been there for a couple years, so they weed out all the people that don't respond well to Jimmy because Jimmy's the guy. So if you're not responding, you're out. So like, I feel like the team is kind of built around him now, and so like
Eric Spoelstra still the coach.
Yep, Coach Spo still. Yep. Spoelstra's still the coach. They have Bam Adebayo, they have Tyler Hero. Like they have good players now, and so it's just like they could be dangerous, but they're not even that good right now technically on standings and whatnot. But it's just always a team run. Like you got to watch out for the
yeah.
So.
You never want to play them.
Yeah. So all right, take me away, race me around.
All right. We'll move over to the NHL. Sadly for the city of Philadelphia, the Flyers aren't much better. They're almost 500. They brought it up to 9-10 with a couple overtime losses. So they're not last anymore, but they're not far from it. But more importantly, they're above the Penguins, and that's all we care about.
Yeah.
Sorry, Pittsburgh.
I'll stay with you there.
Penguins just aren't doing it this year. Yeah, they finally got old. I think that's the best way to put it.
I was just going to say, do they still have what's his face? What's his
name? Sidney Crosby.
Yes.
And Evgeny Malkin. Yeah, they do, and they're all old. So.
And they're all old.
It's finally catching up with them, I suppose. That's really all I have to comment on the NHL. There's not a whole lot going on. I mean, there is. Just with any sport, but like, if I'm being honest, America doesn't care.
Not yet.
Yeah.
When I hear Stanley Cup, I'm gonna go, ooh, I should turn that on.
Yeah.
I should listen to that.
Right. Come next spring, we'll get there. F1 this weekend was in Las Vegas for a 1 a.m. Eastern time start, which is the stupidest thing ever. They actually.
I remember seeing it and going, oh.
It's so dumb. They talked about it on the broadcast because like I record it so I can watch it. They talked about it on the broadcast that like the only reasonable place in the world where that's at like a normal time is Guam, where it's like I think it's like 5 p.m. Guam's local time. Everywhere else it's like either really early in the morning or really late at night.
So it didn't even make sense to do it at 1 a.m.
Yeah,
for whoever. Okay.
Yeah,
I see.
I don't know why they think it's a good idea, but yeah. Anyways, Mercedes, my team, finished 1-2. George Russell started on pole. I don't think he ever lost first place. He did. He did when he pit. He didn't have quite a big enough lead, but he got it back after the pit cycled through. Lewis Hamilton drove from 10th the whole way up to 2nd, which earned him driver of the day. Also my favorite driver, so it was cool to see like there's 2 races left, 3 including that one, and like just to kind of see him go out with like a second place podium finish in Vegas. Also, his 37th track that he had a podium on, which is a F1 record. So that
Yeah.
was cool to see. Max Verstappen beats Lando Norris and secures the drivers' championship. Lando can no longer contend, so Max officially has won, even with 2 races remaining. However, the constructors' championship is still up for grabs. McLaren's currently leading Ferrari by 24 points, which is cool. And in recent news, just I think yesterday the news broke. GM Cadillac, an American team, is joining the F1 circuit for next year. So working out of Detroit, they're gonna get, I believe they're getting engines from Ferrari, and they're gonna build everything else themselves. So we'll see how that works out for them. I'm pretty hype. There is technically like a pseudo American team with Haas Automation. Gene Haas is an American, but they operate out of England, so they're not like true American. Where this team's supposed to be operating out of Detroit.
Detroit's hot right now.
Yeah.
Detroit's hot right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I absolutely despise GM just because I'm a Ford guy. Completely separate conversation. It's so cool to see them get into F1. Takes the total cars from 20 to 22. So just something to keep an eye on for next season. That wraps up F1. Your local team.
Yeah, I was just looking at those standings. Yeah, just want to give a quick shout out because that's our last local team left. Like I said, we talked about Cumberland Valley's high school football season ended. I'm going to try to keep up with some of the other sports. I believe basketball season might be in swing right now. We obviously have Penn State, but we have Harrisburg have their Stampede, which is working on coming back. I know that they were trying last year. I don't know if they ended up getting games together. I'll have to double check on that too. But other than that, yeah, Senators obviously aren't playing any games
The Harrisburg
right now.
Heat should be starting soon too.
Harrisburg Heat, that was the other one I was thinking about too.
Indoor soccer.
And then yeah, Hershey Bears is our other one. They are in the first place in the league right now. They're 13-4. The last 2 years they played the Coachella Firebirds for the championship and won. So it is they're 9-5 and they're in 10th place. So early in the season, but maybe we won't end up playing them again for the championship. We'll actually play somebody different, but a 3-peat against the same team would be sick. We'll take it. So
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just weird that we lived near like the most dominant amateur hockey team. Like I didn't realize it until like the past few years starting to pay attention to it. It's just like when you look it up, like they have the most championships, like by far the most. Like
it's not close either.
Not close. Like they're like 15, 16, 17. The next team's like 6 or 7. Like they are long away, and then yet again here they are just dominating first in the league, so coming off a back-to-back win.
It's even more impressive because their like NHL affiliate is the Capitals, and like they just won the cup a few years ago, so it's not like they're like a lot of teams that you'll see that like, especially you'll see this in like baseball a lot of times where like the major league team isn't really doing that well, so they'll leave the guys in the minors and win those championships because it gets them a little bit more money.
That makes sense.
Look, like
we're not going to win this fight, but you can go fight down there.
The Cincinnati Reds aren't going to go beat the Yankees in the
right. So
the cup,
they bump them down. But if they bump them down, they might.
But
whereas
they could leave
vice
those guys
versa,
down
though,
there and get a few extra dollars. So.
If their farm teams are playing each other now, the Yankees have all their best players on the field, so they're like, well, fuck that, let's switch it, and then let's beat the AA team or the whatever.
Yeah, this is kind of cool. I just happened to, because we mentioned it, the Harrisburg Heat schedule. I looked it up, and they're streaming their games on Twitch this year. I don't know why I find that cool.
Interesting. That is actually really cool.
So yeah, like their schedule says like the away game, stream it on Twitch, and I'm like, okay, I actually tune into that. So
when's our first game stream on Twitch? Saturday, December 21st.
No, December 8th against the Baltimore Blast.
Well, that's on the road. So when's our next home game?
The 21st is their home game.
Okay, all right,
yeah. But yes, if anybody, I highly recommend indoor soccer. If you think soccer is boring, please go watch indoor soccer. It is a completely different sport. It's like soccer mixed with ice hockey because they substitute on the fly.
You'd be really proud of me. I reached out to them about season tickets a year or two ago because they were really like affordable, and so I reached out. I emailed the dude. He never emailed me back, but I was gonna follow up. But it was the year we were building the house, and then switched to last year, so we were gonna go in the RV. So I was like, all right, I'm leaving anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, he never emailed me back. But yeah, season tickets were like Yeah, what is it? Full package, all 12 games, $215. So
Yeah,
like, yeah, you get.
for center field. Yeah.
Yeah, that's, yeah,
I
you're right
did
there. I
I
was like,
did
that's
an
crazy.
internship with them when I was in college.
I do remember that.
It's a complete shit show. As
I
much
know.
as I loved everybody in that organization who I worked
I
with, it was a lot of fun. It was
That's
a
why I said about the
complete shit
Stampede.
show.
I'm not talking bad about them because it's a chance that the people I know who know Jay, the guy that runs it, like hear this.
Yeah,
But it always is like no one knows anything. You're always at risk of getting shut down. There's people
yeah.
investing. There's people not. You're everything like it is all just
It
like
was
you're emailing people and it's like AJ37 big dick at yahoo.com and you're like, this is the fucking commissioner of the league. Like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
yeah, I just anytime I've had any involvement with amateur sports, I'm like, this should be run like the NFL. And then I get in there and I'm like, what the fuck are
Yeah.
we doing right now?
Right. Now
So yeah, I do remember that where I was like, damn, AJ works for the Harrisburg Heat. That's like fucking big time. And now it's like, oh, AJ like held the door open, made sure the toilet didn't overflow or some dumb shit. Like,
we did a lot of
it's
shit as
crazy shit.
interns,
Like, yeah.
but I mean, if I'm being honest, when I was there. Now, granted, this was almost 10 years ago now. When
But
I was
stuff has
there,
to change,
it was
man.
like the interns ran the show. I don't even know what the full time guys did.
So they around.
They might have sat there and answered the phone when you called for season tickets, but that was about it. When it came to actual game day, it was all us. We did everything. It was like you got to get the programs out, you got to take
That's
tickets,
so funny,
you
though.
got to
I
go
just-
set up the blow ups and the concourse for the kids to jump on. Like
I'm clicking through here and it literally says to become a season ticket holder, contact Kevin at harrisburgheat.com.
Yes.
So it's just Kevin, which I now remember. That was the guy I emailed. I emailed him last year and said, hey, I'm interested in getting fucking season tickets. And he never emailed me that.
Yeah.
You didn't do your job, Kevin.
yeah, it's just
All right, now I need the Kevin Harrisburg Heat. Kevin. Kevin Healy, named Harrisburg Heat president. He's the president? Why are we emailing the president for tickets?
dude, there is nobody else. It's probably a one
Kevin
man
Healy?
show.
No way. Kevin Healy. Who you? Who are you? This guy, named Harrisburg Heat president. Quote, I would like to thank Ed Hale, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God. All right, yeah, I got to do some digging in here in the Harrisburg Heat. We got to
It's-
figure out what's going on here. This is the kid. This is
All I
chaos.
can speak for is the sport is cool. So
Yeah, I can't wait. We'll go take a look.
and it's one of those things that like it doesn't feel like we grew up in a very big area. Now that I live in a much smaller area, it's like wow, we were so fortunate. Like to have
Yeah,
the Hershey
oh, yeah.
Bears, the Harlem Globetrotters come to town once a year.
We have the
Like,
Giant Center. We have
Yeah, the
Hershey Park.
Giant
We have
Center.
a venue. We have Hershey Park. We
Right,
have like
that's what
we
I'm
have one of the
saying.
biggest amusement parks. We have a venue. It's a lot of shit. Even as a kid too, because as a kid like you're like Hershey's forever away. We don't have shit. But as an adult, you're like our metropolitan, like our greater Harrisburg area. We have
Yeah.
fucking everything you could possibly need.
Yeah.
You have from Amish to Hershey Park and everything in between with
Yeah.
some big malls scattered. Like
Yeah.
PA is like a real. It's a like the DMV is like the perfect hub for the East Coast. Like I would hate to live in like the northern states. I'd hate to
Yeah.
be stuck like just randomly in like Virginia or something. Like I'll take a Carolina, but like being right in that Pennsylvania like Philly area is like probably
Yeah.
never live in Philly, but that section from Philly over was like ideal as fuck because you're kind of right in the middle of everything.
For sure.
All right, lead us away. Give me a Thanksgiving. Give me a Thanksgiving or a fun fact before we go to Thanksgiving.
All right. I didn't even think to try to come up with something fun fact for Thanksgiving.
Oh, let's do it right now then, on the fly. Thanksgiving fun facts. Let's see. I'll come up with one. You get one too. Right now, we're gonna talk our way through it before we. These all suck. Oh wait, no, I got one. Okay, I got one.
Okay.
Oh, I got two.
Oh,
Okay, I got three. Okay, so my first one, football related. The tradition of college football, or the tradition of football on Thanksgiving, was started by college teams. The tradition of football on Thanksgiving began in 1876 with a game between Yale and Princeton. The first NFL games weren't played until Thanksgiving in 1920.
Oh wow.
My other one was female turkeys don't gobble. Only male turkeys make a gobble gobble sound.
I was well aware of that as a
I
hunter.
figured you would. I read that as an AJ fucking knows that one. There's no
Yeah.
way he doesn't.
That's not really a fun fact. Let's just.
That's just,
all right,
that's
my fun
known
fact
for people.
In 1993, who became the first video game character to be featured as a balloon in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade?
In 93.
In 93.
Zelda.
No.
Wait, hold on. Okay, hold on. 93. Um, couldn't know. It'd been fuck.
Oh, I thought you were about to say it.
Star Fox?
No.
Sonic.
Yeah. Sonic the Hedgehog
Yeah!
was the
Fuck
first
yeah!
video game
Let's
character.
go. Star Fox sounded really wrong, so I was like, that might be way fucking. No, 93 video game. When was it?
1993.
Nice. Okay, so Star
Yeah,
Fox was a 93 video game.
it
So
was.
I knew
Yeah,
that
but
that
it
was
was
around
wasn't
there
that
though.
big.
That yeah, that's why I was like, that can't be. That's why I said you said maybe, and I was like, Star Fox? I was like,
Yeah.
that can't be. No way. That's crazy. So Sonic was the first video game character to be in the Macy's Day Parade on Thanksgiving. Yeah, that's a solid fact. Okay, yeah. So college football starting the Thanksgiving Day game and Sonic being the first one in the Macy's Day Parade. Those are solid fun facts.
Yeah.
I'll take my female turkey gobble gobble back.
In another random fun fact about turkeys, I love Thanksgiving. Uh, did you know the alternative bird for the United States instead of a bald eagle was a turkey?
I saw that Benjamin Franklin wanted it to be the national bird.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
Um,
Turkey and an eagle. I saw a TikTok earlier that was like, can we just talk about how Thanksgiving actually sucks and it's like the worst fucking holiday? Like, turkey is not even good. It's gross. Have you ever had turkey the day after? It smells like cold feet. And literally every
God.
single thing the guy said in the video, I was like, disagree, disagree, disagree. You're wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's also wrong.
He's
You're
doing
wrong.
it for
Disagree,
clicks.
disagree. I literally, and then I was like, let me just check the comments, make sure I'm not fucking crazy. And everyone was like, you're fucking insane. Stop yelling at us because your family can't cook. Like, just because your grandma doesn't know how to make a turkey, I'm sorry, but not everyone's does. Like, it's some families know how to cook and some don't. Like, it was
Yeah.
like, it's not our fault that you haven't had actual good, like, fucking yams or something. Like, yeah, I was like, yeah, that's a crazy take. I saw it and I was like, am I crazy? And I was like, is this like a thing? And I was like I always check to like, is this the new trend? Like, all of a sudden, I'm the weird one for liking Thanksgiving. So I
Right.
just clicked the comments and I was like, no, my people are here. There's no fucking way this guy's taking Thanksgiving from us. That's crazy.
For what it's worth, just a public service announcement because this unfortunately happens far too often this time of year. If you are deep frying a turkey, please, please, please turn the gas off before you put the bird in. Bring your oil up to temp, turn the gas off, put the bird in, turn the gas back on. It eliminates any possibility of having fires. I fry a turkey every year, not for Thanksgiving. I do it for half Thanksgiving, but it just takes all of the guesswork out of it. If the oil overflows, guess what? There's no fire to catch it up.
There's no
Catch it on
flame. It just
fire.
dumps. And then you
Yeah.
just wipe it down and then you turn the flame back on because there's no oil there.
Yeah, exactly. So do
I
yourself
saw
a favor. Be safe out there, please, for the love of God.
I saw a picture earlier of a turkey set up, propane, pot, cardboard mat in a kitchen. And
Yeah.
I just people were this is the Blackstone group I'm part of. And they were like, I know it was like I know you guys think that you can cook everything on a Blackstone, but at least we're not doing this kind of shit. And it was just like, jeez. Like I looked at it, and it took me a minute. Where like I looked at it, and I was so focused on the fact that this guy had a deep frying turkey setup in his kitchen. One of the comments was like, at least they put down the cardboard mat. And then I had to go back and look, and I was like, there are literally 30 pieces of cardboard under it, and I didn't even see that. I was so I just saw
Just the fact that
turkey
it was
fryer, and I was
inside,
like.
yeah.
That's in a kitchen, dude. What the
Dude,
fuck?
I couldn't imagine. It puts off. It's not that it smells bad, but there is smoke associated with it.
Yeah,
And
just
yeah,
yeah.
I just
no part of all
don't do it. If you don't know what you're doing, be safe. Put it in the oven. But if you're going to fry it, please just turn the oil off or the propane off. Like,
And if
do
you
us all a
don't,
favor.
and if you don't, and it does catch on fire, don't be a dick. Make sure someone's recording. Send it to us. Like if you're gonna fuck up and do something dumb, at least share it with us.
Yeah.
Don't keep that to yourself. That's rude.
Very good. Well,
Alrighty, well,
happy
that note-
Wednesday, happy Thanksgiving. We're off Thursday. Enjoy some football this weekend, and we'll catch you all Sunday evening into Monday.
Or not. We will see you then. Have a good Thanksgiving, everybody. Okay, bye. Like and subscribe. Thanks, Derek.